what is active learning and teaching in the latest trends? According to that, active learning, right now, what was that? Active learning, right now in the classroom. Any one activity, describe one activity which you are doing it.
It could be like when you are starting the lecture, that will give the question.
No, what? Name one activity. You must have doing that activity. Name one activity. Think, pair, share. Any other name. Name the activity what you are doing, what you have been doing.
Project.
Jumble of words, project, any other. Yes, noun mania.
Eating chocolate.
Eating chocolate, that is activity. Riddles, it means anything which actually involves the students. Yes. So instructional activities involving in doing things and thinking critically. And it revolves around two basic assumptions, and those were that learning is by nature an active process. If you are learning, it is by nature an active process, and that different people learn in different ways, different classrooms, different set of people in a classroom. Not all 5 fingers are equal. It means your classroom is different. These all things, that phrase, the closer you look, the less you will see all PPTs are connected at the end. So that is one part of the story, that this is this. Now, how we do that? First thing, anyone, any thoughts on this picture? How we do that? How actually we learn? It is learn, unlearn and relearn. There are 3 stages of learning, main 3 stages of learning. Then you divide them into Bloom's taxonomy. Learn, unlearn and relearn. Sometimes you have a vast idea, but you need to unlearn that to go into certain field. Sometimes you cannot impose few of your experiments or few of your experiences on same things. So learn, unlearn and relearn. While you recreate something, you relearn how to recreate that thing. This thing is new for me. This thing was new for me, that these are the 3 stages before the Bloom's taxonomy. These are the main pioneers of Bloom's taxonomy. Learn, unlearn and relearn. You are learning something, but you need to unlearn some things in order to move ahead at certain point. And then you relearn by recreating something, what those ideas are. So the 3 things, so the main word is tactile, auditory and visual. These are the next steps in learning. How you learn? By the visual, by listening and then by mixing of these things or touching these things. So what is your learning style? How did you learn? Everyone, yes Mr. Jas, how did you learn? What method did you use to learn? Not teaching, learn.
Actually, it's not one. It's another thing. Sometimes visual, it's pixel art. Sometimes audio, it's a pixel art. Mostly visual and audio.
Mostly visual and auditory.
Sometimes practically.
Okay, yes Mr. Khushi.
I mostly prefer visual.
Okay, visual. Mr. Mirza. Visual and auditory?
No.
That tactile? Okay, Miss Noor? Visual. Yes, Mr. Ikra? Visual and auditory. Visual. Yes, Mr. Kamil? Visual. Yes.
Major part is visual and secondary part.
Secondary. Mr. Dan? Visual? Yes. Auditory and visual? Yes, Miss Khalda? Visual and auditory? Miss Nadia? Both?
Best learning combination of all.
Combination of all. Okay. But now, what is your learning style? Let's look at this thing. You need to use your visual, oral, verbal, physical, solitary, social and logical thinkings. Not one thing can move without the other. Right? If you are not going to practice something, the thing which you have seen, then it means that somehow it is logged in your memory, but again you are going to forget these things. It means everything has their own criteria, everything. This is the learning pyramid. This was the Bloom's taxonomy thing, which he has done these things. First thing was, according to the research, lecture affects 5% of students' memory. Right? Reading affects 10% of students' memory. Audio visual 20%. Demonstration 30%. Right now I am only demonstrating you. The thing, once that activity which you have done, that is how you learn that it was a stuffed toy. Otherwise, it is placed over there. I can say blindfolding you that it is nothing. It is not a stuffed toy. It is not that. But perception. Now, discussion 50%, practice doing 75%, teach others 90%. I was an average student. Trust me when I say I was an average student. Truly, while teaching, I learned so many things. I was very poor in chemistry, and right now I cannot even imagine that I am doing something in chemistry. Otherwise, in 9th, I got 3 marks out of 25 in my assessment. That was the height of my understanding according to that chemistry. But start doing it, practicing it then. But according to me, first thing was practicing for me and then teaching. Once I start teaching either my sister or either any other person, it means that I am understanding. While making this thing, I've learned few more things that learn, unlearn, relearn, that new Bloom's taxonomy for the virtual classroom. Now, memory exercise, my main event. How we are going to actually use all these methods and check how much you know these things. Lecture abhi we are doing, I am giving you the lecture. It means that only 5% you are going to learn. Reading, you are reading it, some of it is absorbing in you. Audiovisual, demonstration, discussion and these things, not each other. Now when you are going to give the presentation, then you will be able to learn more about your topic. First thing, instructions. What is this instruction? What is happening? It is simply hare and tortoise story, but the background just changed. A student has changed the background.
You want to approach the result, you need to means you cannot skip one.
You missed this point that the other tortoise, the tortoise, which one? He has the accomplice to actually bind the rabbit, and that is why he actually moved forward. It means in today's world it is happening. Either you be very good or either you slow other people down. These are two things. It is also phrase of one good movie, but it was not, I cannot quote that movie, but this is this. ये तो बहुत अच्छे बन जाओ, ये दूसरों के grades नीचे कर दो. That is how you win. This is this. We are not going to do this over here. But right now practicing, this is how we are practicing. This is I am experiencing, this is other people are experiencing.